Here's what I made today as a hagwife. The first thing I did when I got up this morning is ask absolutely nobody what they wanted for breakfast because they're going to eat exactly what I put in front of them. I love my terrifying spawn and I want to make sure they have a nutritious and high-protein start to their day, so I toasted some of the bread I made fresh yesterday from the pulverized bones of Englishmen. If you can't get real Englishmen, you can use Americans in a pinch. We eat seasonally because the villagers will no longer sell me fresh fruit and vegetables. So in addition to cream cheese, I put strawberry preserves on top of the toast. I then gave it a sprinkling of digitalis just to make sure that my spawn have a defense against that toxin as they get older. I know that witch hunters will always be trying to put paralytics in their water, so it's important to build up an immunity to that poison early. After my demon offspring had been released for the day, it was time to start potion prepping for the week. With the vernal equinox coming up, I want to make sure everything is ready to blight crops and wither the bloom in maidens' cheeks, so I did a quick inventory of my materials. I made a lot of moon water last fall, and I have plenty of dried fungi and runic bones. I use my own runic system for the bones because it just feels right for me. Then it was time to check on our livestock. Since we've been exiled to the outskirts of society for our cursed ways, we've had a lot more space to cultivate noxious weeds and raise tiny feathered wyverns. Because I like to use everything, I took the entrails from the enemies I slaughtered yesterday and gave them to the wyverns. The tiny feathered wyverns will get many nutrients from the offal, and that way nothing goes to waste. Then I went out to steal some wild garlic from the little folk. I'm careful only to take a little so they don't turn our milk sour or curdle our cream because I'm going to need it unspoiled for today. I also got lucky while I was outside and found a great stick. By the time I was done, I needed to start preparing our evening meal, so I used some of the bone meal, corpse tallow, and salt from the tears of men to make a crust. Then I mixed cream, cheese, and spinach to make a base. I added some dried mushrooms I found on a log down by the pond and rehydrated in sherry. I was out of Wild Mountain thyme I harvested last summer, so I had to use store-bought. I would say that I feel shame about this, but I don't know the meaning of the word. It's just not part of my lifestyle. Then I brewed myself a restorative potion and spent a few moments staring into the abyss. I used to get so busy between hexing and brewing that I would forget to stare into the abyss every day, and I found I was really missing out on an important way of reconnecting with my fiendish inclinations. So I really tried to carve out some time in my schedule for that piece of self-care. As part of that regular self-care, I try to spend a little time with my plants once a week. Today, I was potting up some new propagations, and I had to laugh because I found a bone in the potting soil. One of my spawn must have put it there. I wonder what kind of necromantic horror they were trying to grow. Then it was time for my unholy brood to return, so I left out a few pieces of raw meat for them to snack on and hid myself in a closet so I could jump out and scream at them when they came in. Tomorrow, I'll show you how I like to lure men into the bog behind the house for storage over the summer.